Hello! Right, this is a Q&A that I wanted to do for the end of the year because I thought it would just be fun to do a nice little video where I haven't got to overthink or panic, and it wouldn't take too much effort to do just before Christmas, something that's nice and simple. But for some reason, this is the hardest video I've done all year long because I'm incredibly fucking awkward in front of a camera. I didn't know what I wanted to do with this. I didn't know where I wanted to go with this. I just knew I wanted to talk in front of the camera. I'm just going to throw some Metal Gear footage in the background for some reason because I have nothing else worth showing in the background. But I thought it would be fun just to sort of talk over, you know, the questions and sort of, you know, answer the questions you throw at me and see what I come up with. So yeah, we'll dive into that now. Let's have a look what we got. I got a question here from Colin Hill. They ask, what has been your favourite video to make? This year? Ooh, let me have a look. I think my favourite video that I made this year was probably my reviving of the slasher genre. Because one, I think the intro for that is probably one of my favourite intros that I've actually made. I love the Child's Play soundtrack from the new Child's Play film, the 2019 version. And plus, I'm just such a horror fan that it's like to be able to jump into like that world and sort of explore it through, you know, gaming, which is my favourite form of anything. To be able to actually go through and just create that was a ton of fun, and like it was fun to sort of see how the cliches of slasher, like people tripping over or being chased, or even just the music, how that has been transformed into, you know, gaming, and how it's changed. I just think that was a fun video to make. I actually really enjoyed doing that. So yeah, that obviously, yeah, reviving the slasher genre for me was probably my favorite video this year. This one comes from a YouTube comment. Jacob Filmmaker asks, what are your favorite films? My favourite film of all time is The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. I think that's just a great horror movie. I'm actually going to do a video on that very shortly, hopefully. I think it's just such a fun movie to watch. Like, it's to watch it just sort of devolve into madness. The practical effects. Oh mate, I could watch that movie every day of the week. I love that film. But for favourite films, up there you got 1989 Batman. Jack Nicholson's Joker is my favourite Joker in my personal opinion, because I just think you can tell he's having so much fun with the role. I like his makeup effects. I think it's just that right amount of creepy and uncanny. Godfather, one of my favourite films of all time. Just characters, love it. But yeah, I just love movies, man. I've got so many films I love. This question comes from Twitter. Luxray Lloyd asks, how do you come up with video ideas and how long does it take to write scripts? Do you sometimes scrap scripts because you don't feel like they're right? For me to come up with an idea, sometimes an idea could come up, it could literally take me, I don't know, it can be a space of a week. I would be playing something, let me get up a video for example where that happened. Far Cry 3 Defining Insanity. That I was working from home one time. I was working from home when obviously at the beginning of lockdown, and I was playing. What was I playing? Actually, it goes in with my reviving slasher stuff. I was watching Silence of the Lambs, and I was sort of like thinking about obviously all the stories you hear about how Hannibal was played in that and such by Anthony Hopkins, and it got me thinking like how he uses the eyes and stuff. And then I thought about one time where I was watching a playthrough of Far Cry 3 years back when it came out. Jesse Cox, everyone knows Jesse Cox, the Let's Player. He commented on how like the eyes looked in one of the cutscenes. And that's always stuck with me, that Far Cry 3's eyes just sort of stood out in that sort of regard. So I sort of came up with this idea where I was like, wow, Far Cry 3 really tells its stories through the eyes of the characters. And then, you know, one thing led to the next. I was, like I said, working from home, so I had a computer right next to me. I just started writing down scripting ideas, and then yeah, it just sort of devolved into me making a video, and then 1 week later it was already out. But sometimes I could come up with I have video ideas that I've planned still from last year that I haven't even touched on yet, because I'm not confident in the delivery, or at least I'm not confident in where the idea should go. So how long a video really takes me to make can really vary, but it just depends how much of a lightning in the bottle idea it could be. So yeah. Another Twitter one from Kaylee TWT, or Twit. What are your goals for the upcoming year as a creator? Anything you've been wanting to look into, or anyone you've wanted to collaborate with? I would love to collaborate with a lot of people. I've made so many like ideas to collaborate with people, but this year, like, I just wanted to solely focus on a lot of soul stuff to sort of just see how much I can push out the content. So there's a handful of friends that I'm definitely excited to start collaborating with within the next year. But as a creator, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I would love to do a sort of side series where I'm not talking about games as much. I would much rather, I want to talk about just real life experiences, like maybe focus on something like, you know, say I have a whole bunch of Sculpey, you know, to sculpt stuff. I have loads of that, and I would love to just focus on that for a whole month. You know, look up tutorials, go on Skillshare or whatever, and just watch courses and try and focus a lot of passion into that and see what I learn from doing that. Like, and I think that'd be interesting to sort of write essays about and to sort of talk about experiences, and obviously not just have it be about crafting things, but do experiences like, you know, go diving with sharks or something in the future, sort of just to show that you can do things in life. And I think that would be fun to do, because I clearly, when I talk about wanting to do things, it's a big passion that comes up when I talk about stuff in my videos. I talk about, you know, just not letting your doubts get to you and just doing the best you can do. And I think to show that, if I show that I can do that in real life and focus like my energy on that in a video, I think people might enjoy that. So that could be fun. But yeah, as a creator, within the next year or so, hopefully I can go full time if that ever happens. I'd love to do that, but I think I want to focus on some more real stuff, just sort of, yeah, to make people realize what sort of person I am, rather than me using games as a way to communicate my flaws. Okay, here's quite an interesting question from YouTube from Conservative Spartan. Do you believe that you have personally gotten better at handling, engaging, or trying to conquer certain fears and topics over the course on which you've done with your previous topics and fears? If so, what could you think of right on the top of your head which helped towards this realization? Yes, actually, I think the arachnophobia with the spiders, I for some reason, because obviously I haven't had the opportunity to go jumping in the ocean recently, so I don't know about the thalassophobia, but with the spider one, I realised that spiders aren't scary really. Like, they are just doing their own thing. Like, don't get me wrong, they look creepy, and I say that in the video that I think they look good, but I think that I've grown a weird appreciation for what spiders do. You know, I see a spider and I'm like, oh god, I'm not scared anymore. It's there, just minding his own business. So I think it's definitely helped me sort of be calmer around that, because I realise that they're doing their thing. They're as scared as us, and I am as scared as, you know, as from them. Plus, I live in the UK. We ain't got any big scary spiders that are, you know, worth trying to kill us. So I don't know why I'm scared of them. So yeah, I've actually realised, yeah, I grew a weird appreciation from just looking at so many spiders during the course of making that video, that I feel like, I don't know, it really helped me sort of focus and realise, yeah, they're cute little spiders. They're not bad. Here's a question from Twitter from Flen. Sorry if this sounds stupid. It'll never sound stupid. But what has been the most challenging video you've ever made? Are we talking challenging as in getting through it? Because overcoming fears with my thalassophobia and playing Subnautica in VR, that was hell. I hated that. Just going in VR on that, and obviously just putting myself in that uncomfortable situation, for me, that was challenging. But like, as my most challenging video, like for me personally, I think possibly We Need to Escape, which I did on a Firewatch. Not because any like real challenge to make the video, but I think in topic, like that was one of the videos where I went over the script. I had to, you know, talk to, you know, my sister about the subject that I was talking about with schizophrenia and such. Like, I think for me that was such a mental like task. Like, it felt like it was it was an interesting video to make, and I enjoyed sort of diving in on subjects like that. But as something that on a personal level, I feel like it tapped into a lot of fears and a lot of like things I haven't really spoke about before, or even, you know, thought about, you know, loudly, like to myself. Like, so I feel like that video itself was a challenge, because yeah, just sort of the realization of what my fears of schizophrenia are. Oh, I got cool. my fears of like, yeah, the schizophrenia and such, like, yeah, it was, I think, yeah, it was just a bit of a mentally taxing video, more than I'm used to doing. One sec, quickly switching out the gameplay. The gameplay was a bit dull. We switch it to... Yeah, we'll switch it to Mafia 3. I'm working on a Mafia video. Spoiler alert. What video do you really want to do in 2021? It's a video I planned this year. It's a video I wanted to do this year, which was going to be a documentary style video on quote unquote small YouTubers. We don't use that word small because I think like no one's a small YouTuber. Everyone puts the same amount of passion into their work. But like, why we create what we want to create, you know? I feel like it was going to be a fun little documentary style where I speak to a bunch of creators that I've worked with and become good friends with, and I just sort of, and I even hope to speak to some people who are, you know, quite more known, because I think it was just it was just going to be a fun little, like, you can do it, you know, you can do whatever you want to make. So I want and I still hope that I can do that documentary style video, and hopefully I'll do it within the summer, but if not, who knows. Okay, we'll do 2 more questions. Here's one from Sheen. Do you plan to hire an editor in the future? And if you have one already, do you plan to keep them? Do I hire an editor? No. Do I plan to? I don't think so, because editing is my passion. Like, I would love to be an editor for somebody else. Like, I could edit every day of the week. There's a reason why I made 55 videos this year, because I just enjoy editing. Once I'm editing, I'm on a stream to go, I will just be hooked. There's nothing. I love doing it myself, so I don't plan to hire my own editor. But anyway, thank you so much, for subscribing for that. Like, obviously, if you enjoy my editing and the style that I do, then I really appreciate that, because I honestly feel like I put a lot of love and sort of ideas and transitions and stuff into my videos. I think, you know, people will find quite fun to watch, and at least a refreshing take on how videos will move along. And here's one from Storm Art. Your channel's name. Why is it the Checkpoints Show? Why is it the Checkpoints Show? Okay, that's a fun story, that one. I was in a van once. I wouldn't start like that. I was a delivery driver for Sainsbury's, which is like a store here. And I used to, well, not be a driver, but I used to sit in the click and collect. And in the click and collect, I used to sit there for 9 hours a day and do nothing. And I had this notebook, and I said to myself, I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to just do something with myself in my own time, because this is boring. And I was going through names. I literally was like, you know, Tea Time Reviews, because originally I was like I wanted to do a review channel, you know, in the same style of like Icarus or, you know, JonTron or whatever. And I was like, yeah, Tea Time Reviews, yeah, trying to do like British stuff for some reason. I'm not sure why. And then I came up with this idea where I'm like, maybe there should be like a checklist, like, on what I go through. So it'd be like gameplay, graphics, story, the penis size. And I was gonna have like a little animated me, like, run to like little checkpoints on like the bottom of the screen, which would say which sort of segment we're in. And then obviously that was going to be like the checkpoint system. And I was like, yeah, checkpoints, it goes with the name, it goes with, you know, video games. So I was like, yeah, that'd be fun. And then, yeah, so the Checkpoints Show stuck around. Unfortunately, I hate the Checkpoint Show as a name, and it's already been taken. I think it's like a Dutch program or something. But yeah, I didn't look that up at the time. But yeah, that's why it's called the Checkpoint Show, because I'm terrible at naming things, and I thought, yeah, I'll go for a checklist, like a checkpoints for video games. But yeah, unfortunately, that name was just stuck. So, and I know that it says CP, and I know that can stand for something else. My friends don't let me hear the end of it. Yeah. But yeah, that was my Q&A. Of course, I've had a ton of fun doing this. If you want me to do more of these sort of Q&A sort of things, I don't mind. I should find something to actually do in the background while answering these questions. But yeah, I'm sorry, all you got was crap gameplay of Mafia 3 and Metal Gear Solid. But yes, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like. And this year has been sensational. It's been the worst year of any person's life ever, because 2020 was filled with crap. I hate the fact that this year has been one of my favourite years in recent years, and I'm going to always remember how bad this year was because of how good this year was for me. So thank you for that, guys. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like down below. Of course, comment more questions and I will answer those questions in the comment section. And I will see you next year. This is the last video of 2020. See you next checkpoint. Bye.